Guys, good afternoon. Mr. Nagitharan here. So today we're going to see the subject biology. We're going to focus. So I give you a brief outline what we're going to do today. So kita nak fokus hari ni. Cikgu akan ajar kepada anda adalah strategi menjawab soalan dan juga fokus untuk tahun 2020 actually. Yeah, kita currently we are in 2021, but we are still considered as a batch of 2020. So we will be focusing on that. I will give you the focus for this year exam dan juga saya akan menunjukkan beberapa kesalahan dan juga strategi untuk menjawab dan mendapat jawapan yang tepat dan boleh dapat markah untuk subjek biology. Okay. So take a look on a slide. Okay, so I have a few rules that we need to focus, which is do and do not. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to explain the state and explain the materials. Okay, so example, moment. Sorry, I think I need a slide to. Okay, use a correct biological terms and body parts. Okay, use an example of mitochondria instead. Okay, example, so the body process. So you guys have to explain that. Okay, so the correct biological terms you have to use. Okay, so ejaan dia you guys kena jaga. Okay, and everything you need to focus and write accordingly. Okay, and paper 1 filled with diagram. So ada beberapa gambar raja semua. Make sure you guys identify gambar raja dengan proses yang betul. Lepas ni dan slide yang akan datang, cikgu akan menunjukkan beberapa contoh soalan dengan diagram. Okay, so you need to identify the diagram correctly. Okay, and identify the process carefully. Okay, and then the difference between state, menyatakan, describe, huraikan, explain, terangkan. Okay, so state the function of mitochondria. Nyatakan fungsi mitokondria. So semua tahu adalah fungsi mitokondria adalah untuk menjanakan tenaga. Okay, itu saja. Ada beberapa pelajar terangkan banyak dengan sekali contoh. So avoid that. Okay, just state just nyatakan fungsi dia je. Okay, fungsi mitokondria ke cytoplasma ke apa, just state saja. Okay, contohnya dia minta describe dan anda perlu huraikan macam mana dia menjanakan tenaga di dalam selular. Okay, lepas tu explain dan terangkan macam mana dia menjanakan tenaga. So contohnya mitokondria, mitokondria menjanakan tenaga melalui respirasi selular. So explain dengan glukosa, dia punya proses semua. So make sure guys know the difference between state, describe and explain. Each require different depth of answering technique. Okay, and following on, use the correct instrument and also the process. Okay, ada beberapa pelajar dalam instrumen dengan huraian, they will confuse, they will use a different wrong term. So avoid that. Get to know the process clearly and understand the process. Okay, next slide. Okay, and don't. I have only 2 rules in biology for don't. Pertama adalah, don't bother studying your chapter 1, which is introduction to biology. All of you know, because rarely question will strike out from chapter 1. The rest of the chapters are important for you to focus. Guys, one more thing, remember, in biology, you cannot skip chapter. In biology, you cannot skip chapter, doesn't matter, form 4 ke form 5 tak kira, you tak boleh skip chapter sebab, setiap chapter dalam biology adalah interconnected. It's an interconnected chapter. So you cannot skip. Kalau you skip satu chapter, then it's become a tragedy. And do not misspell names or function that will incorrectly. So contohnya, photosynthesis. Correct, spelling dia must be correct. Explanation, the, N, semua tu salah, it's okay. Sometimes we put N, E-N-D, sometimes we put A-N-D, still you can get mark. But when come to photosynthesis, dark reaction, light reaction. So ini semua adalah nama-nama terma dia. So you cannot do mistake on the terms. Photosynthesis, mitochondria, cytoplasm, all these terms do not do spelling mistake. So keluarkan buku, hafal semua spelling correctly. BM, BM, English, English. Make sure the spelling, you guys keep it in your mind correctly. Don't play with the spelling of the terms. Okay, next slide. Okay, now I'm going to show you a simple example of a question. Okay, all the questions that we're going to see and I'm going to explain to you guys are a simple question that strike out in past year. So kita punya analysis untuk hari ini for biology adalah full focus pada past year sahaja. Okay, okay, first thing, you guys have to focus on the first question. So read the question carefully. Okay. Raja 1.1 menunjukkan suatu perubahan yang berlaku apabila sejumlah kecil habo kalium permanganate dimasukkan ke dalam air. So, sebelum dan juga selepas. Pertama dia tanya adalah apa? Namakan proses yang terlibat dalam Raja 1.1. So, name the process label in diagram 1.1. Okay, simple. Sebelum, after. So what you call is simple diffusion. In BM we call it resapan ringkas. Okay. So resapan ringkas dah satu markah settle. Ini tadi saya cakap kalau proses ini anda tulis jawapan yang salah. So contohnya you guys write down facilitated diffusion, resapan berbantu, hancur markah satu markah. So because you are stated a wrong process name. So do not do that mistake. Focus correctly, see the process, label it. Done. Your mark is done. Okay. Next. How, still in the first slide. Okay. How does the process in A1 occur? Okay. So means that bagaimana proses ini berlaku. So tengok. Bagaimana. Just now I said three things. State, describe, huraian, semua right. Okay. Now it's just state bagaimana. So 2 marks means you need to elaborate little bit. Kena terangkan macam mana proses ini berlaku. So dalam slide ni cikgu dah menunjukkan soalan, a correct writing skill for the question. So nampak tak? A crystal start to dissolve from high concentration for solute molecules to low concentration of solute molecule until reach the dynamic equilibrium. Okay, simple and everything in detail. Habo mula melarut dari kawasan berkepekatan tinggi, dari tinggi, berlaku ke kawasan keberkepekatan rendah, terlalu sehingga mencapai keseimbangan. So guys, equilibrium means the water must be balanced the kepekatan, which means the concentration. So what is the key point? Guys, kalau you orang susah nak terangkan banyak macam ni, kalau you rasa cikgu 2 markah rasa banyak sangat, very simple. Dalam bahasa BM, di mana kita buat rangka jawapan, betul tak? Rangkakan jawapan anda. So, first point adalah kepekatan, kecerunan kepekatan, concentration gradient. Okay, when you mention concentration gradient, from which grade to which grade, you need to focus. Okay, this one is from high gradient to low gradient. Sebab apa guys? Selalunya molekul, which means zara-zara bergerak kepada high ke low ke atau low ke high, very simple, because it want to achieve the state of equilibrium, means seimbangkan kelarutan, kepekatan kelarutan dia. Sebab itu biasanya molekul akan bergerak dari high ke low atau low ke high. So just explain, done. Okay, untuk ingat soalan macam ni, I will show you one example. Next slide please. Okay guys, take a look on my slide. Okay, you guys can focus over here to remember. Very simple. If temperature, kalau suhu meningkat, diffuse faster. Simple je. Sebab apa? Kalau suhu meningkat, diffusion rate tu meningkat. Simple. Sebab, simple guys. Imagine you guys, just remember, kalau kena suddenly cikgu pukul kat belakang, sebat kat belakang, how we move? Lelaki perempuan biasanya tak akan kena mangsa. Biasa lelaki, pelajar lelaki. Kalau kita kena ke belakang, obviously kita mula untuk melompat. and we can't walk properly, kita akan jadi macam kangaroo. Kita melompat dan kita akan lari ke kelas atau lari ke tempat yang patut kita kena pergi. Sebab apa? Kerana kesakitan dekat belakang, okay, ke belakang ni on your butt, okay, dia punya receptor tu lemah sangat. So you rasa sakit perlahan sikit. Okay, means slowly you will feel the pain behind your back. Okay, so apabila you rasa sakit tu, so slowly you will become a kangaroo. Same, apabila suhu meningkat, zarah-zarah dalam air, water molecules akan jadi cepat. Dia akan bergerak cepat. Okay, apabila dia bergerak cepat, sebab tu larutan tu, okay, dia larut dalam air cepat. So are you clear guys? Okay, so just focus. Suhu meningkat, aktiviti zarah-zarah tu, which means pergerakan zarah-zarah meningkat. Sebab tu we call it diffuse faster. Kadar kepekatan dia pun meningkat, kelarutan dia meningkat, kadar kelarutan dia meningkat, temperature, higher the temperature, diffuse faster. Next, surface area. Larger the surface area, okay, diffuse faster. Larger the surface area, diffuse faster. And following on, okay, concentration gradient. Higher the concentration gradient, the faster the dissolving rate. Okay, next slide. Okay, size of particle. Small particle diffuse faster compared to bigger size particle. Diffuser medium, just focus over here. So, okay, solid, liquid, gas. Pepejal, okay, pepejal, cecair dan gas. Okay, so pepejal, which is solid, slowest. Liquid, faster. Gas, faster. So, these are the four main factors, guys. Just remember, in exam, kalau dia nak tanya apa-apa soalan antara temperature, surface area, concentration gradient, size of particle or medium, automatically you guys know this reason, you guys register, okay, diffusion rate faster, okay, and the explanation following on, okay. Next slide. Okay, now, ini kesalahan yang cikgu nak menunjukkan kepada anda dan cikgu nak highlight kepada anda pelajar-pelajar. Pertama, okay, kesalahan dia, vacuole. Okay, biasanya pelajar akan tulis dalam exam. Okay, vacuole diseliputi membrane plasma. Okay, the vacuole is surrounded by the membrane plasma. Avoid that. Okay, the correct point is vacuole diseliputi, okay, membrane disegelilingi sebagai tonoplast. Tonoplast. These are the two keywords, guys. These are the two keywords you guys are missing. So that makes, okay, these keywords you guys are missing. That why it's like you guys are not getting the correct mark for the particular explanation. Next, respirasi sel berlaku di dalam seluruh sel. Seluruh sel. Guys, imagine, okay, no, just take note guys. Okay, in biology, you need to know one thing that, okay, the answer must be specific and accurate. Specific and accurate. So you cannot be generally tell that seluruh cell. Okay, the whole cell. It's wrong. You have to be more specifically, have to state that where is the location takes place. Okay, so respirasi sel berlaku di dalam mitokondria dan sitoplasma. Pelajar-pelajar, I know you guys beberapa kali masa you guys jawab soalan, you lupa perkataan sitoplasma. Even I personally mark students paper, okay, saya tak pernah nampak combination mitokondria dengan sitoplasma untuk contoh soalan ni. Okay, salah satu contoh ni I tak pernah nampak sebab pelajar akan lupa sitoplasma. Remember, just make it add-on. Okay, cikgu, kalau saya tulis mitokondria salah ke cikgu? Not I'm saying like that. I still can give you the mark. But better combine sebab proses itu akan berlaku pada dua-dua bahagian. So highlight that. Next. Okay, 2.3 menunjukkan 3 organelle cell. Okay, nampak labeling. Tadi I dah highlight kepada pelajar-pelajar di mana apabila you nampak labeling tu, tolong fokus pada labeling. Get to know the correct labeling and focus on the labeling correctly. Okay, jangan mix match. Okay, anda boleh nampak sekarang, okay, on the slide that you guys, there is a kesilapan berlaku di mana labeling jadi salah. Okay, so apabila labeling jadi salah, memang kita akan rugikan markah over there. So you can take a reference of this slide. Okay, over here, the notes, okay, and then make sure go through the same question again and again. Okay, and following on, tengok soal kesilapan yang biasa berlaku pada bawah. Okay, labeling semua okay, tapi huraian spelling dia jadi salah. So nampak tak, I dah menunjukkan huraian yang betul dengan kata kunci yang betul. So dalam biologi paling penting adalah kata kunci. Okay, kita sebagai cikgu akan fokus pada kata kunci yang penting. Kalau kata kunci dah ada, your keyword is there, and you have estimated a correct explanation, definitely you will gain the mark. But make sure don't take that strategy as a granted strategy that you hafal semua kata kunci saja. In exam, you just write down kata kunci saja. Huraian semua you just goreng. Don't do that mistake. Okay? The explanation is important, but must be general kalau you tak berapa pasti dengan tu. But make sure guys, focus terms and juga huraian dia jangan do not take granted and do the mistake on it. Okay, next slide please. Okay, pelajar tengok contoh soalan ni. Okay, contoh soalan ni. Okay, first of all, in exam you will get this type of diagram marking question. So when you get diagram marking question, make sure that again, proses. Dalam biologi kita ada banyak proses. Okay, setiap bab ada beberapa proses. Anda tengok je, boleh identify example. Contohnya, isotonic, hypotonic, and then hypotonic. Hypotonic, isotonic, okay, hypertonic. Tiga larutan ini akan masuk dalam bab apa? Bab ketiga, plasma membrane. Okay, plasma membrane. Bab ketiga, form 4. Siap. Okay, so you guys know each process, each component that happens in the particular chapter. So focus on that and get to know the correct. Okay, tengok soalan pertama guys. Okay, soalan pertama. Very important in biology, you kena baca arahan tersebutnya. Kalau you miss out arahan itu, then it's very hard. Okay, so first of all, soalan ni. Okay, so table 1 shows the proven example, the movement of substance in a daily life. Okay, so in a table. So just tick betul pada example of the process. Okay, pertama adalah glucose exchange in Evolyus. Glucose exchange in Evolyus. Okay, glucose change in Evolyus. Okay, then next, mineral ions move from soil, water, which is hypotonic, to the root cell. Okay, so baca. Pernah you guys ever thought this point before or not? Okay, kadang-kadang dalam exam nanti you guys kena focus. Pernah tak you guys revise? Okay, like example, mineral ions move from soil, water, which is hypotonic, to the root air. So benda ni tak pernah kita, this is wrong statement dah. Okay, a drop of blue ink soaked into a glass water, causing the water turn blue. Sebab apa dia mula untuk berubah? Just now I taught you the concentration, higher to lower. So the concentration, just think back the concentration, kepekatan dia, di mana dari aras ke tinggi ke rendah, rendah ke tinggi, right? So dia mula untuk sebar in the zara-zara. So which is the correct in our daily life? Of course, I already given you the answer for your reference, which is the first and second box. Next, pull up. Okay, now preservative type. Okay, match the food suitable method to preservative. Okay, kita nak preserve, okay, makanan ini, right? Okay, makanan yang contoh ni, iaitu ikan dengan buah-buahan. Okay, so dalam buah-buahan ni, okay, first anda nampak ikan, okay, second adalah buah strawberry. So basically dia dah kasih 3 for you to choose the right one. Okay, pertama, ikan kering. So ikan kering menambah garam. Okay guys, the answer is very simple. Let me explain to you. Sebab apa garam? Okay, garam, because garam akan evaporate, means dia menyikirkan air daripada ikan tu. Apabila air dah keluar daripada ikan, bakteria tidak boleh tumbuh. Sebab bakteria nak tumbuh, dia memerlukan air. So can you guys understand very clear cut that kenapa kita memerlukan remove air melalui garam? Okay, and following on, strawberry pula, okay, menambahkan gula. Sebab garam dan gula, okay, memberi kesan it will affect the growth of the microorganism. Dan you just mark your correct line, okay, match it, done. Okay, some people will write down, will look for buah, right? Freezing, beku, okay, pembekuan, okay. And dia macam nampak like macam gula garam tak pernah belajar cikgu, okay, beku sebab dah biasa dengan rumah makan. Sometimes don't relate your daily life with the examination, because there will be some changes will occur. Okay, clear? Okay, now next question, guys. Okay, next question focus on the down part, which is state the three importance. Okay, nyatakan tiga kepentingan. Cikgu, sekarang nyatakan, perlu tak kita huraikan 3 markah? Kalau you tulis point saja, contohnya kepentingan kenapa kita nak preserve, contohnya. Okay, why we need to preserve the makanan. Okay, if you want to urai that, you need to little bit sikit je, sebab nyatakan dengan 3 markah, you just, okay, so look at the answer that I given to you in an example. Okay, at the answer that I make it, okay, to make food for last longer, okay, menjadikan makanan tahan lama. Sebab tu kita fokus pada bab, okay, teknologi makanan. Sebab fokus kita dalam bab teknologi makanan untuk mempelajari cara untuk mempertingkatkan the lifespan of the food, that we can store the food for longer period. Okay, next, microorganism lose water by osmosis to able to grow. Kan tadi saya dah uraikan. Okay, kalau kita menambahkan garam, garam tu menyerap air. Apabila dia dah menyerap air, okay, and very importantly, air tak ada, right? So bakteria tidak boleh bertumbuh. Guys, one more thing. Remember this point, okay, remember this point in biology. Okay, I teach you 2 terms. Remember these 2 terms, guys. Okay, how it's happened, why it's happened. How it's happened, why it's happened. How, why. Okay, how, why. Guys, okay, write down on your a piece of paper atau buku anda sedang catatkan nota. Okay, how, why. Means every process you guys lepas ni belajar, okay, tolong fahamkan macam mana benda ini berlaku dan bagaimana proses tu berlaku. How and why. Get the simple explanation for it. Okay, tadi cikgu cakap mula-mula slot. Jangan skip any chapter dalam biology. Penting sangat jangan skip. Sebab apa? Contohnya, bab 3. Bab 1 kita belajar pasal sel. Bab 3 di mana kita fokus pada bahan merentasi plasma membrane, substance across the plasma membrane. Right or not, students? Okay? So first, then we learn about how cells work. Okay, kita belajar macam mana, bagaimana sel ni berfungsi dan apa komponen di dalam sel. Bab kedua di mana kita faham macam mana bahan masuk dan keluar di dalam satu sel. Bahan apa cikgu? Oksigen, glukosa, amino acid, iron molecule. So you akan belajar macam mana dia akan masuk dan keluar melalui kepekatan. Okay, throughout the concentration gradient by focusing on active and passive transport. Clear? Okay, so see, it's interconnected. Even our following chapter. So you kena faham, okay, sebab apa isotonic berlaku pada darah. Okay, hypertonic sebab apa dia berlaku? How and why, how and why. Guys, if you are struggling in biology, okay, to master the process, just simple. Before you learn the process, okay, write on your piece of paper how, why. Find the answer, but make sure find a simple answer that you guys can understand. In this program, I will teach you all the component to you guys to make it, to explain in a very simple way how, why process ni berlaku. And then I will highlight to you guys the last question. Okay, so the last question di mana state the importance. So it's already there. It's already in the slide. You can look the correct answer. Some student will do mini karangan on 2 marks question. Okay, dia akan tulis satu mini karangan pada sana. And diorang, like many biology students, crack their heading because they write a lot. They write a lot and worrying for not getting the mark. Sebab cikgu fokus pada kata kunci, keyword and a correct explanation for the keyword. That's all teacher wanted from biology. The problem with student, I dah tunjukkan beberapa kesalahan dalam slide saya. Lepas ni pun saya akan tunjuk elakkan kesalahan tu. Just avoid the mistakes. Write in a simple terms that you will sure can get the mark. Okay, so 3 importance. Avoid. to avoid the food from spoil. So kita dalam jawapan kita walaupun pendek kita dah terangkan little bit, done, enough. No need to explain because yang ni adalah nyatakan, state the importance only. Next slide please. Okay, now tengok kesalahan seterusnya. I nak menunjukkan kepada kata kunci dan huraian dia. Okay, so pertama adalah kelayakan tumbuhan berlaku setelah pokok dirasmi terlalu banyak air. Means dia pour a lot of water. Okay, ini adalah terangan daripada pelajar. But the correct word for it adalah, okay, so kelayuan tumbuhan berlaku, okay, setelah pokok itu ditambah terlalu banyak baja. What is the mistake over here? Banyak air. Okay, kalau kita menambahkan banyak air, ada tak pokok tu layu? Okay, soalan ni, ya, dia akan layu, tetapi chances are very low. Why? How and why? Okay, sebab tumbuhan ini menjalankan proses transpirasi. Pelajar-pelajar, apa tu proses transpirasi? A transpiration process. Transpiration process means, guys, okay, let me convert that word to you in a English term. Okay, transport excess water through evaporation. Transpiration. Transport excess water through the process called evaporation, transpiration. Sebab ada matahari, okay, radiasi akan jatuh pada tumbuhan dan dia menyerap air daripada tumbuhan. So air akan melari dari bawah ke atas. So when transpiration is keep on takes place, when you pour more water, okay, the chances to get wilt, the plant to get wilt, melayu adalah kurang. Sebab apa dia boleh melayu? Sebab terlalu banyak baja. Okay, now next question, baja. Sebab apa baja menyebabkan dia melayu pula? Very simple guys, okay. Sebab tadi, hypertonic, isotonic. Okay, isotonic janganlah, dia tak akan masuk langsung. Tapi pelajar, tahun 2008, okay, dalam essay, isotonic keluar. Isotonic, soalan dia, situasi dia based dengan atlet. Okay, sebab apa atlet perlu kita nasihat untuk minum air isotonic yang you orang guys know, right? So we have a lot of isotonic. Apabila you pergi mana-mana kedai, you boleh nampak banyak air minuman berisotonic. Sebab apa kita nasihat? Why we advise atlet to consume the isotonics? Okay, because isotonics remain the cell same. And it's also able to sustain the stamina. Just terangkan, but also a question. So masa 2008 dia strike out, everyone was not giving importance to isotonic. Sebab dalam buku rujukan atau buku teks pun you focus, isotonic tu kan tak ada perubahan langsung, tetapi tiba-tiba strike out dalam exam. But it's very easy peasy to answer. Okay, hypertonic, hypotonic. Focus the difference happens in the hypertonic and also hypotonic. Okay, sekarang. Next question. Kelayuan tumbuhan, okay, disebabkan oleh molekul zat. Okay, zat terlalu, okay, diselsap, okay, pada sel, okay, dan juga rambut akar menyerap keluar. Okay, so meresap keluar. Okay, the correct wording for it adalah kelayuan tumbuhan. Okay, kelayuan tumbuhan, okay, disebabkan oleh molekul air. Okay, disebabkan molekul air pada sel rambut dan akar resap. Okay, so simple. Huraian yang besar tapi kata kunci is missing. If wrong kata kunci, guys, take a look. Kalau wrong kata kunci, kalau you gunakan kata kunci yang salah dengan huraian, then your mark is gone. So you can see the slide that I'm showing to you to compare and contrast the correct and the wrong one and the correct one. So from here you guys can learn, okay, why you guys are missing the mark. Okay, now, so we will focus on the next slide. Okay, another question that we're going to focus, okay, today is this question. Okay, now focus over here. Okay, so look at the diagram, guys. Okay, look at the diagram, clearly stated. Diagram show ready. So what I said just now, guys, you need to focus on the process. So you kena tahu proses dia. Okay, explain what will happen, guys. One more thing. Kalau you want to sure that what you mean about the question, tolong baca arahan dia. But since my time is very, very limited, I straight jump to the question to show you my correct explanation for the question. Because if I focus, I can't focus on much on your instruction. Pertama, explain what will happen to the transport of glucose if structure X is absent. Terangkan apa akan berlaku pada X tu hilang. Okay, now you need to find that X. Kalau X, you need to find, okay, what happened if X sudah hilang? Okay, so if X is lost in this diagram, you need to know first of all what is X. Pertama, okay, the transport of glucose cannot occur because glucose is transport through active transport, need structure X to carry out the mitochondrion, is no energy is generated. Okay, so it's simple. Okay, pengangkutan glukosa tidak berlaku kerana glukosa, okay, glukosa tidak berlaku kerana glukosa mengangkut secara pengangkutan aktif dan memerlukan struktur X untuk jalankan, okay, ialah mitokondria. Maka tidak tenaga dihasilkan. So very simple. Okay, what is structure X? What will happen if structure S go lost? Soalan ni biasa dia akan keluar. So just don't focus hafal pada komponen, mean struktur. Okay, mitokondria, fungsi dia apa? Don't ever do that. Okay, you need to prepare that. Kalau apa akan berlaku sel ini hilang atau komponen ini hancur. So contohnya dalam satu sel, enzymes tiada, apa akan berlaku pada sel itu? Kalau mitokondria tak ada, apa akan berlaku pada sel itu? Kalau dalam satu sel mitokondria tu tak ada, okay, kalau mitokondria tu tak ada, automatically guys, tak boleh menjanakan tenaga. So kalau tak boleh menjanakan tenaga, the cell eventually will die. Okay, the cell eventually will die. If the cell die, done. Okay, so that's the problem. Okay, so whenever you focus on the component, okay, always focus, okay, apa akan berlaku kalau komponen itu hadir atau kemukakan masalah ketidakhadiran juga. Okay, next question guys, take a look over here. Dia nak menunjukkan ikan, okay, dan dalam ikan ni, okay, soalan ni meminta anda untuk label. So you guys need to label it. See, all the marks is very simple. So it's like nyatakan, just now I said, state the part of X. Okay, so very simple. The part of X is dorsal fin, and also the next one will be the aerial fin. Okay, so anal fin. Okay, CC anal dan juga sirip dorsal. Okay, sirip dorsal, just state that. Okay, R and T. So for this, just recap the location of the component. So ini adalah contoh soalan pasia. Ini bukan soalan saya sendiri keluarkan. Ini adalah salah satu contoh-contoh pasia yang hari ini saya nak menunjukkan macam mana cara nak jawab with your actual paper, not with any topical examination. Okay, with actual dan juga actual answering technique for the particular question, you guys to gain the full mark. Okay, the label it correctly, then get the marks. Okay, next. Okay, explain, okay, explain. Terangkan, okay, okay, why? Again, kenapa, right? Okay, just uraikan guys, okay, little bit about the answer, okay, on the question, okay, so that you guys can focus very clearly that the question asking for what. Okay, so explain, terangkan. So see, over there, I dah menyatakan dengan 2 markah, 2 point is enough. Kalau 2 markah, you tahu pasal tu banyak, jangan membazirkan masa. Okay, don't waste your own time on the particular question. Move to the next. Okay, so first, increase the vertical surface. Okay, meningkatkan permukaan. Okay, meningkatkan permukaan pergerakan ikan. First. The second, memastikan ikan sentiasa tegak. Okay, okay, keep it upright because you want to prevent from rolling. Done. Okay. So why the fins are needed? Okay, simple. How and why, right? Okay, untuk manusia, kita ada badan dan kaki, tangan untuk, okay, seimbangkan pergerakan badan. Right or not? And we are travelling on land. So, koordinasi badan kita adalah beza berbanding dengan ikan. Di mana ikan pula, dia menggunakan air. So, it need a few fins to balance the water current. Okay, water current, pengaliran air itu, okay, he needed to balance it. So kalau dia nak balance it, dia akan menggunakan fin ini semua, sirip dorsal ini semua. So how and why are clearly you guys understand why they are needed. Okay, next slide please. Okay, sekarang cikgu nak menunjukkan lagi satu kesilapan biasa akan berlaku topik yang sama guys. Okay, now take a look on this question guys. Okay, kesalahan dulu. Okay, kesalahan biasa pelajar akan tulis dalam exam. Kesalahan pertama, ikan dapat mengurangkan rintangan, okay, ikan dapat mengurangkan rintangan pergerakan dalam air dengan mempunyai badan berbentuk lurus, ekor yang pendek dan sirip yang nipis. This I take one of the example of it. Okay, tapi salah sebab apa? Dia tak ada on point guys, on point. Dia ada tak like macam tengok kesalahan biasa pelajar tulis tu. Is it like very relevant to the question? Okay, the correct one. So we just compare the wrong and the correct one. Okay, ikan akan dapat mengurangkan rintangan, okay, pergerakan, okay, dalam air. Okay, ikan dapat mengurangkan, okay, rintangan pergerakan. So the water current, okay, it will be reduced. Mempunyai badan berbentuk lurus, okay, dan juga lapisan layer pada permukaan badan sisir dan tersusun menghala ke belakang. So this is how fish will go through the situation of water current. Sebab water current ni guys, okay, kalau you focus, air akan bergerak di current di air yang opposite way. So kalau kita pernah banyak kali terjun dalam kolam air, betul tak? Swimming pool. Whenever we go in, we can feel a little bit of water current. But if you compare in river, sea, okay, water current dia totally different. So ikan ni menggunakan semua dorsal ni untuk mengatasi water current flow. Okay, are you clear with that? Okay, next. Okay, if you see pergerakan, okay, pergerakan ikan, and you can see the kesalahan yang pernah berlaku pada ikan, huraian pergerakan ikan. Okay, pergerakan ikan, you kena tahu adalah, okay, pertama adalah dia pun ada otot dia pun akan bergerak secara berantagonistik. Pelajar-pelajar jangan lupa perkataan apabila you nak huraikan pasal otot, jangan lupa the term called antagonistic muscle. Okay, antagonistic muscle is very important. So very simple. Okay, gentian myotom ni atau gentian otot, pengecutan gentian otot ni, okay, apabila dia bergerak ke kanan, kiri dan kiri ke kanan. So the opposite transition. Okay, huraikan itu saja. So you can see on the slide, okay, kesalahan dan juga kebetulan jawapan dia. Okay, dan the last one also about sirip. Okay, kata kunci dia. Okay, sebab labeling. See, you explain about sirip yang salah. Itu pun you guys need to focus very carefully. Okay, komponen dia senang je. Okay, you just tengok berapa sirip dia ada dan fungsi dia. Okay, next slide please. Okay, now tengok soalan dan contoh jawapan dia. Okay, which I've been stated for you. Okay, explain how. Okay, muscle P acts during the movement of the fish. Terangkan bagaimana otot P bertindak semasa pergerakan ikan itu. Okay, so the previous ikan. Okay, ingat antagonistic. Okay, you need to add on. So tengok jawapan guys. Okay, look at the answer that I stated for you. Okay, on the slide. Okay, the wave-like movement is generated by the muscle. Okay, on both side of vertebral column and anterior on the tail. Okay, pergerakan seperti gelombang dimulakan oleh otot P pada kedua-dua turus vertebra bermula dari hadapan ke belakang ekor. Okay, guys, simple. Untuk ikan, mula you punya jawapan, point jawapan from the head to the tail. Okay, you need to explain, okay, about from the head to the tail. Okay, these are the two main components to make the fish stagnant and travel from point A to point B. Okay, lepas dah huraikan, okay, point dia, the second point, when muscle P or either side contact contracted, okay, contract the vertebral column curve towards the tails. Sebab ikan, just imagine, ikan akan bergerak kiri ke kanan, left to right. So, apabila, kan cikgu dah cakap tadi apa? Okay, pergerakan berantagonistik atau otot berantagonistik. Cikgu, apa itu berantagonistik, cikgu? Okay, berantagonistik makna dia adalah satu otot contract, satu otot relax. Means one contract and one relax. So you need to see which one is contract and which one is relax. Okay, in this question, you don't need to focus much on which part and which contract, which relax. Yang mana mengendor, yang mana mengecut, kita tak perlu fokus pada tu. Cuma kita kena fokus pergerakan ekor dia. Okay, on the following question, third question, okay, see the point guys, okay. Apabila otot P pada salah satu belah, okay, turus vertebra akan melengkung, okay, ke arah ekor. So, belah mengecut, okay, turus vertebra melengkung and ke arah ekor. So, when the S injured, okay, when I'm on the wrong point, sorry guys, okay, towards the curve on the tails, okay. So, just explain that. Okay, next, explain how does injury affects the movement of the fish. Okay, terangkan bagaimana kecederaan ini mempengaruhi pergerakan ikan tersebutnya. Now, just now, I say to you guys, okay, apabila you belajar satu komponen, ingat balik, sebab tu you kena guna dua perkataan yang tadi cikgu cakap tu. How it's happened and why it's happened, pelajar-pelajar. Okay, macam mana dia berlaku dan bagaimana benda tu berlaku. So, sometimes they will focus on you that what will happen if that particular object is injured. Tak ada. So, contohnya, kalau tak ada enzymes di dalam badan kita, apa akan berlaku? Sebab tu kita belajar pasal 4 faktor dalam enzim. Suhu, kepekatan dan kepekatan enzim dan juga kepekatan substrat dan juga nilai pH. 4, suhu meningkat, enzim tak ada, proses pencernaan, your digestion process will be get affected. Okay, now look at the question guys. Okay, terangkan bagaimana kecederaan ini mempengaruhi pergerakan ikan tersebutnya. Okay, what happened? The particular place is affected. Okay, very simple. When the fin of S belakang, is injured, the forward force helps to the propels forward. Okay, the force that helps the fish to propel forward will be get affected. When the S is injured, the forward force that helps to the fish propel to the forward. So, just explain je. Ada pelajar tulis, ikan tak boleh bergerak. That is wrong. Okay, you cannot state that ikan tak boleh bergerak. Ada pelajar juga pernah jawab, apa akan berlaku kalau kita menambahkan baja di dalam pokok terlalu banyak? What will happen if add more fertilizer? Okay, that will eventually kills the plants. But kita adalah pelajar biologi. Kita straight away tak boleh jawab that it will kills the flower. We need to explain why it kills the flower. And remember, dalam beberapa soalan yang cikgu menunjukkan, even after this you gonna practice a lot of questions also. Pernah tak you orang nampak any straight away the question said the answer straight away tuman itu mati? Tak ada. Melayu. So we will explain sebab apa tuman itu melayu. So you need to explain about it. Then the following question, the last question, describe, the fish able to adapt the injury and survive. Boleh tak ikan tu adapt, menerima, injury dan survive. So kita kena fikir balik tadi, when I said ikan tak akan bergerak, that is not a thing. Ikan boleh bergerak a little bit but cannot move actively. So simple je. Dibantu oleh pergerakan otot P. Dia ada otot P untuk menyokong pergerakan ikan tu menolak ke hadapan. So the muscle P will help the fish to move forward but not actively. But do you need to necessarily add in your point? No need. Just say the fish are unable to move actively to the forward, but you can avoid that because you already said that the muscle P will support the fish to move forward. Done. Next, the strip, the pelvic fins are still active on the fish. Just explain on it. Dapat membantu dalam pergerakan ikan. Done. So It's simple guys. Okay, soalan SPM biology memerlukan anda untuk jawab soalan itu dengan kata kunci, a simple keyword that you can score a correct mark. Okay, you can take a look on my side sample. That's why I attach a lot of points. Okay, points and also kesalahan biasa pelajar akan buat dalam exam for your reference to avoid the mistakes in your exam. Next slide please. Okay, next, another questions. Continue with that question. So, nampak, okay, you guys can compare the correct answer. Even you can, when you look at the question itself, guys, you boleh imagine, okay, you guys boleh imagine your own answer, right? Okay, imagination of your answer, take that imagination, compare the answers that I attach beside the slide. That is a correct slide, correct answer. Don't worry, I already synchronize it. Apabila you berbanding dengan jawapan anda di imagination anda dan juga point, now you can see what is your mistake, what is your weakness in biology. Okay, throw that. Take a look. Very simple. So contohnya explain. Okay, explain how the situation curve of the dead fish in the river. Okay, terangkan bagaimana, okay, bagaimana situasi ini mengenali, okay, keadaan dia kalau dia masuk dalam satu sungai. Okay, kalau ikan tu. So very simple. High temperature of the water, suhu meningkat. Fish face a difficulty. Okay, dia akan kemukakan masalah. Okay, so ini mengalami kesukaran. Okay, okay, untuk dia bernafas. Sebab the concentration of oxygen also will be affected. C. Very simple. 2 points, 2 marks is in your end. Done. So all the question I'm showing to you, all this is a past year question reference. Again, I repeat again guys, it's no other than any focus paper or tada semua. All these are pernah keluar, pernah jawab oleh pelajar-pelajar SPM batch sebelum ini. Okay, are you clear? Okay, next slide. Okay guys, take a look on this. After this, I will show you related to the enzymes. Okay, because why I'm highlighting enzymes? Enzymes adalah point topik yang senang untuk score markah. Okay, first question. Okay, take a look on the first question over here on the board, guys. Okay, and apple, okay, and supply of the concentration law of Pausertine. Okay, just a simple explanation, 3 marks. Okay. Enzymes peptidase boleh memecah cellulose, okay, pada dinding membentuk jus apple jernih. Okay, also increase yard apple juice without using it. Okay, and just explain terhasil, okay, terhasil berbanding tanpa menggunakannya. Next, look at the question of the enzymes. Okay, so the enzymes, can you look at the graph? So based on the graph, okay, you guys when look at the graph, you can read the optimum temperature. Okay, biasanya dia akan keluar pasal the optimum temperature activation process. Okay, so enzymes catalyze biochemical reaction. Okay, enzyme dapat memakinkan tindak balas, okay, biokimia. Oleh itu tindak balas boleh dipercepatkan menggunakan tenaga sedikit. So see the questions on point, you boleh nampak enzymes kedudukan dia. So I will show you the on my next slide with the mistakes that usually happen for the enzyme students. Okay, next slide please. Okay, take a look, especially take a look on below graph guys. Okay, bawah ni I menunjukkan satu graph dalam slide saya kan. Okay, tengok kadar tindak balas dia. Okay, yang salah, yang juga betul. Okay, pada you fokus pada betul lah guys. Okay, fokus pada betul. Eventually you guys can see yang mana optimum. Okay, kadang-kadang anda perlu lukis, kadang-kadang anda perlu just justify yang mana optimum. So you boleh berbanding pada dua ni, okay, yang mana reaction dia yang betul. Okay, so yeah, you can see all the description I tunjuk dah. Okay, biasa salah akan berlaku dan juga on point terangan dia. Cikgu, sebab apa dalam slide ni keterangan saya like panjang sikit, guys? Because I highlighted the keyword for you. All this keyword must be there. Huraian saya, you can adjust the huraian, guys. You boleh menukar. Maybe because saya sebagai cikgu biologi, I suka untuk tulis banyak. Okay, if you guys don't like to read and write a lot, then make it simple. But kata kunci yang saya highlight, confirm must be in your paper to gain the mark. Okay, next slide please. Okay, one more questions guys, a common respiratory question. So dalam question ni, okay, component that you gonna focus, I already show you the component that focus, diagram, explanation. Okay, soalan ni like very easy to score. So can you compare very simple and direct point? Okay, simple explanation, your mark is there. Okay, diagram. Apabila nampak soalan macam ni, tengok diagram dan berbanding and write down. Next slide please. Okay, and this question, like most students never expect, iaitu oogenesis and spermatogenesis. Okay, now look at it. Oogenia grows move towards. So you need to explain the process from RPQ. RPQ. Just explain little bit. Okay, when look at this question, because kita belajar spermatogenesis, oogenesis banyak, right? Look at the answer that I given to you. Okay, it's very simple to explain because soalan tu 2 markah saja. On point, explain, clear. Next slide. Okay, and also this question, okay, related to the chapter where you will explain each component clearly. Okay, the hormone, how FSH affected. So guys, dalam exam nanti, you kena tahu 4 hormon. You dah tahu kan? Okay, LH, FSH dengan progesterone dengan progesterone. So all this will be changed according to the 4 fasa of Kitar Haid. Okay, focus pada Kitar Haid. Okay, and go through the hormone, and this is the sample of the question. Next slide, please. Okay, and yeah, this is just add-on for you to refer the kesalahan biasanya akan berlaku di atas pada sel darah merah and vitamin platelet, okay, explanation. So contohnya, tengok satu contoh guys, okay. Vitamin D diperlukan untuk menghasilkan, okay, prothrombin di hati dan ion natrium sebagai cofactor. Vitamin K diperlukan untuk menghasilkan prothrombin di hati dan ion kalsium sebagai cofactor penukaran prothrombin menjadi thrombin. Example. C, vitamin D pertama salah. Kita tak ada vitamin D. Kita akan menggunakan vitamin K. So, don't get confused with wrong term. Make sure get the correct term. Yeah. Anda akan hafal beberapa komponen, right? How and why. Take a look and simple concept. Ambil simple word, just write down, memorize it. Okay, next slide please. Next slide please. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Okay, now, so I'm going to highlight topic for 2020 batch for you guys. Okay, 2020 batch, SPM Biology. Okay, focus. Okay, pertama guys, ingat, cikgu, okay, tak akan percaya pas di atas ramalan. All the analysis, all the kesalahan yang I menunjukkan sebagai satu bukti kepada anda, it's all based on past year questions. It's all based on past year question and also based on beberapa kesalahan yang pelajar pernah buat dan juga pembetulan di atas kesalahan. Sebab anda pernah buat kesalahan tapi pembetulan tu you guys are not highly noted the pembetulan. Now you guys know already what is the kesalahan biasa akan berlaku dan juga the correct term. Okay, now you, as I said, don't ever skip any chapter. I repeat again guys, jangan skip any chapter because dalam biology all the chapter is interconnected. Kalau you lupa satu bab pun dia akan affect very badly because kalau you tak faham bab 3, bab 4 tak akan faham. That is the beauty of the biology. Pertama, cell structure and function. Cell structure and function. Guys, please focus on the labeling component. As I said, apa? All the teacher will say to you that hafal the component and then fungsi, right? Okay, hari ini saya menambahkan satu benda. Ingat satu benda, how and why. Apa akan berlaku kalau ketidakhadiran? What happen if that particular component is absent on the cell? Just focus on that. Next, okay, after you memorize all the component, okay, and then make sure you know tonoplast yang tadi cikgu tunjuk tu. So make sure correct it. Okay, and following on, plasma membrane. Focus for this year, hypotonic, hypertonic, isotonic. Cikgu, isotonic? Yes, tadi kan I cakap, dia boleh, chances can be strike out. Like athlete, why need to drink isotonics? Go and find in your past year. Definitely you can see one. 2008 question, essay. So, isotonic. Okay, each effects. Enzymes. I dah tunjuk enzymes. Okay. Then lock and key hypothesis. Focus on it. Lock and key hypothesis of the enzymes. Apa akan berlaku dan juga lukisan. I know many of biology students are not good in lukisan, but guys, come on. Enzymes ada empat reka je. Empat reka you boleh tukar. Okay, you can write in a square shape also, can go ahead. Meiosis and mutation. Meiosis 1 and 2, the process and genetic mutation. So mutation ni dia ada dua faktor, satu environment, satu genetic mutation. Fokus pada dua-dua komponen. Okay, and following on, balanced diet, focus on gizi seimbang, balanced diet. Okay, and then you see what is the importance of the balanced diet. It's a simple question, can strike out under KBAT. Okay, human digestive system. Kita ada tiga digestive system, right? For this year, focus at human digestive system. Mechanism of photosynthesis. When I said photosynthesis, you need to study both, which is dark and light reaction of the photosynthesis, guys. Factor affecting the photosynthesis, again, temperature, air, and so on, right? Okay, baca pasal faktor-faktor yang memberi kesan pada proses photosynthesis. Okay, dark light reaction, gas exchange process in human body, colonization and succession process, greenhouse effect, thinning of the ozone layer. All these are go in depth of the whole story. Okay, make sure you know gas exchange process in human body, colonization, succession, gas exchange, and okay, focus on greenhouse effect and the thinning of ozone layer. Next slide, please. Okay, and following on, okay, we are entering in Form 5. Okay, Form 5, SPM. What are the topics that we need to focus in our current syllabus? First, concept of circulatory system. Okay, guys. Okay, concept of the circulatory system. Focus on human circulatory system. How the system works in human body and what are the importance and each component. Guys, remember I told you what? Also read back apa akan berlaku kalau beberapa komponen hilang. And you need to know the AVN, SVN, how the blood are pumping, okay, all this concept in the circulatory system. Okay, if you guys are having a difficulty, okay, to memorize which is the left, which is the right oxygenated, deoxygenated blood. Okay, here I will teach you a simple concept. Remember LORD. LORD, lot, right? Okay, repeat again. LORD, lot. Okay, what does lot mean? Left oxygenated blood. In our body, left is oxygenated blood. Right is deoxygenated blood. LORD, eventually you just write down LORD, left oxygenated blood, okay, and right will be deoxygenated blood. Done, clear. Okay, concept of lymphatic system. Focus on the lymphatic system. What is lymphatic system dan kegunaan, and also penyakit pasal odema. Okay, kaki bengkak yang macam gajah tu, kaki gajah and so on, odema and lymphatic system. Focus because okay, there is some question in your trial paper. Previously, I saw lymphatic system compare with cancer. Okay, so take a look, study both. Punca cancer, penyakit cancer, and also your lymphatic system, the importance of the lymphatic system. What is the lymphatic system? Support locomotion, response and coordination, hormones in your body. Remember all the hormones function, especially your Kitar height, menstruation cycle, gamete formation, homeostasis. Homeostasis, just go through back, urination process, everything. Make sure you know the process. Menstruation cycle for this year is highly highlighted. That's why I said recall back all the actual your hormone function. Okay, Mendel's second law. Okay, for paper 2, Mendel's second law, not first law. Focus on second law, arranged explanation, inheritance, and genes and chromosome variation in organisms. So variation. Okay, we have types of variation like domestic, recessive, okay, benda-benda tu semua, focus, recessive, and also recessive variation, okay, continuous variation, discontinuous variation, and focus. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, take a look back. Okay, all the very best from Mr. Nagin. Thanks a lot for eSurya, okay, eVentures to provide me a good slot. Okay, thank you, guys.